Hey guys, just a quick little update. This video was recorded about like 4 hours ago, and I was not able to upload it ahead of time. I just want to make this is a quick apology. I know that I said I was gonna keep my schedule every week. Saturday's X and Y episode reviews, but unfortunately today my sister was coming here, so all day was supposed to be getting ready for her arrival, and well, I just didn't have the time to even watch the episode until later during the day, and even the review I wasn't able to do it right after finishing the video or the episode. So just a quick apology. I know I do apologize in the video itself, but I just wanted to do another apology beforehand because it is being uploaded way later than I had originally planned. Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members, poker fans, and others who have come upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today I'm reviewing episode 48 of the Pokemon X and Y anime English dub, which was the Clemont finally catches another Pokemon episode. We got a Luxio and T, yes. So this is kind of like it was a nice it was a nice Clemont episode, to be quite honest. I am happy about that aspect at least. Um, Before we get started with the review, obviously I want to apologize because the video is up so late. As you can tell, I'm not in my house. I'm actually in my dad's house because we're going to pick up my sister in a little bit. And I actually didn't get to watch the episode this morning, so I wasn't able to make the review in the morning and then upload it in the morning and deal with all kind of have to deal with that. But then I had to wait because I wasn't able to watch it in the morning. So I couldn't do the review, and then I had to wait because then I had to come over here, so I had to get all my stuff ready, and then I actually had to bring my laptop so I could watch the episode online. But then I wasn't able to watch it as soon as I got here. Anyway, it's a big mess, so I do want to apologize for those of you guys who are like waiting for the episode review. But anyway, so let's get right into the episode. So Ash in the game, coming to a new town, new city, all that stuff, and it is essentially the city where Clemont's old school was. Now this I really don't know what this is hinting at. Like I don't think we know Clemont's age, like specific like we like directly have been told Clemont's age. But the dude probably has like a PhD, okay? This man went to a whole scientist like exclusive school studying electricity. You have to do like a big project, you know, it actually is like a PhD level assignment before you graduate. So I don't know if he's like how certified he is or any of that stuff. But it was nice. Like I said, it was a nice Clement episode, and it was one that I'm really looking forward to. Like ever since they started pushing Serena, I felt like they kept pulling on Clement. Like they were like, we're gonna have to like hold you back, even though you're not really shining at the moment. We're gonna make you even more relevant. So I like the fact that they gave him an episode to shine, at least. So the episode bases around the fact that Clement went to the school right when he was younger, and like he basically made the city better than it ever was. What he for his final project, he actually had no idea what to say or what to do, and he was like telling the story and all that stuff. And like when they met his teacher, like I'm gonna assume it's like the main teacher, like the homeroom teacher, or maybe just the teacher that everybody knows or something like that. And when they're gonna explain the story, and I just like I like the spacing. It's good. It's been a while since I've seen the Bonnie thing, and I'm glad I saw it. Like I'm not mad at the fact that they did it, but it was such like it was so well done this time because it's like it's somebody Clement already knows, and it's somebody that Clement told her about, and it's somebody that the lady like knew about Bonnie because Clement told her about Bonnie. So it's like there's already like a previous established relationship, not like romantic relationship, but there's a history behind them. So it was kind of like funny because she was trying to like tie that into the whole fact that she should probably get with Clement and get married and all that stuff. It was funny, and the thing is, because they usually do this gag in a way where as soon as she says that, Clement grabs her with the apron arm and runs away. it couldn't do that this time because she was a key component to the episode in terms of Clement's story, because it was all focusing on Clement. And since they're supposed to be interacting in the story, he couldn't like run away. So I thought that was like cool, like a cool dynamic, cool change of pace. That's basically what he did. He just like hung her in midair and like, let me go, let me go. It was cool. We also got to see, we got to see what Clement's invention was. It was essentially he made this giant tower in the middle of the city, which powered, what basically gathered energy, gathered electricity, and then was able to transmit it around the city. And there was certain pods like around the city which are essentially recharge, battery. I'm not saying this. It's basically for recharging batteries, quote unquote. It's for electric type Pokemon. Electric type Pokemon, basically all they gotta do is just gotta walk in there, and the thing like scans them, and then like it starts giving them jolts of electricity to charge them up, and then it stops. Which is cool because that means that Clement's inventions, he created basically a whole city. Well, I mean, like he didn't make the city, but like the fact that he was able to make something to such a large scale shows that he has the potential to make something that actually works. So I hope that this right here at least is the climb back, that's the climb up from getting away from the gag where every time Clement's inventions, like every time Clement uses an invention, it blows up in everybody's face. I mean, there have been a few hits, but for the most part, they all blow up, right? So, like, hopefully, this is the start of the climb out of that hole to where that gag is no longer relevant, and we actually have a competent, like, inventor, because that's what Clement's supposed to be. He's supposed to be an inventor. He's supposed to be making inventions that are actually going to help the world. So, I really want this to be the start, like the beginning of his progress of getting better as a character to the point where his inventions just start working flat out. Like yeah, we can go back to the gag every now and then, but they should not be as frequent as they have been, and there should be a lot more inventions that work perfectly, like they work as they're supposed to. Because for him to make such a large scale of an invention that basically covers a whole city, making a small thing that is going to help you jog in place, that should be no problem for the dude. And then they start talking about the whole Shinx thing. So they explain that Shinx is the one that gave him the idea in the first place. He found Shinx in so he was contemplating because he didn't know what he wanted to make for his final project or his final assignment, the thing that was going to help him graduate. And then he found Shinx it passed out, so he took it to the Pokemon Center, and then because it was so weak, it basically needed to recharge a bit more than normal, so he had to rest a lot longer than the typical trip to the Pokemon Center. And then Clement, he's gets him back in the morning, and then she starts explaining that, and he gets the idea to make the entire city's machine, like the giant tower that spreads electricity across the city, and all that other stuff. So that's cool because Shinx gave him the idea, and then he started working on it, and he was with Shinx, and then it was just pals with Shinx. And then Team Rocket shows up. We have to deal with their whole nonsense. They're actually gonna steal the electricity from the underground. And then Luxio shows up, and he's trying to spy on them, but he didn't sense anybody. Walks away. But then Team Rocket starts to try to mess with the electricity system. With the what the heck is the thing called? The transformer that's down in the basement. And so they have. Not transformer. What? It wasn't. No, Transformers was on. I don't remember what the heck. It had to do with the power outage essentially. So it's or the thing that gives out the electricity. And so Team Rocket's messing with it, which causes an alarm to go off in the control room. And sorry if you start hearing noise. I don't know what's going on outside. So they go down there to find out what's going on, and then they all see Team Rocket messing there, and then Luxio shows up and actually attacks Ash and the gang because Team Rocket books it. And they're like, no, the guys you're looking for went that way. And then Luxio runs towards them. And then as soon as he like jumps past Clement, Clement realizes that that's the Shinx. And he's like, it's you. And then Luxio like stops and then looks back. And then like it looks like he realizes who he's seeing. But then he like turns away and runs. Like he's upset. And then when they're like in the room again, they start talking about it. And then like Clement says that has to be the Shinx. That has to be the Shinx. And like he starts explaining the story, like how he didn't really fully go into the story of what happened with Shinx. And the way he says is that the last day before the whole graduation thing, he had promised Shinx that the next day he was gonna meet him at the same spot that they always go meet up at and play and all that other stuff. And he was on his way there the next day, right? And he had a cake and everything he was going to share with Shinx. They were going to have a good time and all this other stuff. And then he was going to invite Shinx to be a part of his team. This was before he even became the gym leader. So when he was on his way, the mayor of the city basically, like, I'm gonna say this up. That was straight up a kidnapping. Okay, that should not. No. You don't force somebody into a car, okay? Especially when they're trying to explain something to you. You don't force anybody into a car. That is a kidnapping, sir. Okay? You don't do that. And essentially, since he got kidnapped, I'm gonna call it that. No, you can't tell me otherwise. I drove away, right? And then Clement saw the Shinx where they were gonna meet up. Like he was waiting. But then, like after the dinner party, which was the whole purpose of the kidnapping. He went back, but the Shinx wasn't there, and then he didn't see him at the graduation, and so he never saw him again. And then they started talking about maybe the Shinx evolved into a Luxio and all this other stuff, and then Clement says that was my Shinx. I mean, it wasn't his Shinx, but his friend's Shinx that had evolved into a Luxio and all this other stuff. And then Team Rocket realizes that they gotta go up to the tower, and that'll be even easier to take the electricity. Which they end up doing because the whole city goes into a blackout, and then Luxio actually just like he senses it first, like and then he sees the electricity sparkling in the tower, so he decides to go over there. And he's like I gotta go over there. By the way, that Luxio got some pretty crazy moves. Like what? So I mean we know it has 3 moves. It has Swift, Thunderfang, and Discharge. Which is not bad, to be quite honest. Not a bad moveset for Luxio, like at least in the early stages. And so he like runs over there, and then Ash and the gang with Officer Jenny and the scientist people, they run over there and they see Team Rocket again, and then Luxio is actually battling Pumpkaboo and Inkay because Team Rocket ends up attacking them again, and so when they start, when they get there, they're like, oh, what's going on? And then they ask Luxio why he's trying so hard to defend the place, and then he's basically because when Clement came up with the idea, and he was talking to Shinx. He's like, I want to make this city to be great and perfect for all extra types Pokemon, or actually, I want a world that's just perfect for all Pokemon. Like, I want to protect this. I want to make this whole thing better, and that's essentially what Luxio. Luxio was protecting the city because it's supposed to be. It's the thing that Clement made to protect and help all the electric type Pokemon. It's his way of making sure everybody's happy being there. So he's basically protecting Clement by doing this, which then kind of hints off that Luxio does still care about Clement. And then it's like Pikachu, like trying to defend everybody, and then Clement actually, I don't know what's with characters pulling ashes recently. That's ridiculous. Like first Serena did it with the Pancham in the last episode where she like tackled the Pumpkaboo, and now freaking Clement's taking hits from Pokemon. Like no, you can't pull. That's Ash's thing. Okay, Ash sacrificed his body and soul to protect Pokemon. That shouldn't be anybody else's trait. Okay, we don't need all the characters to have this trait. That's Ash. It's literally the only thing that makes Ash cool. And you're gonna start having the other characters do it too, nobody's gonna care about Ash. I mean, not that people care about Ash anyways. I mean, I do. That's besides the point. And he pulls an Ash because he gets in the way of the Shadow Ball, and then Luxio's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then like he licks like Clement's face and everything, and it was cool. It was the cutest thing. It was the most adorable thing. And then Clement's like, "All right, you gotta help me out do this together." And Luxio's like, "Yeah." And let me just ask, how the hell did Clement know that Luxio had discharge? Because since the moment they were there, the only thing, like, they saw Swift before because that's what he used to attack them in the underground. But the only thing they saw was Stunner Fang because that was the only move he was using. So the only thing he knew was Thunder Fang. So how the heck did Clement know that it had discharge? It makes no sense. But it was cool. They won. And then right after that, Team Rocket, like after Team Rocket leaving, Clement was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at the place we met um, when we were younger, like the place we hung out, and I want to know if you want to come with me. If you want to come with me, I'll wait for you there. And if you don't, I understand." And then Luxio like goes underground again. And the next morning, it was, oh my gosh, like I gotta say, I mean, it wasn't emotional enough for me to really get invested that much, but it was a sweet moment because essentially like they're waiting, and then Clement's like, "Well, I guess he's not coming." And then like Serena's like, "Yeah," Serena's like, "Well, I guess Luxio's not coming." And Bonnie's like kind of upset, and Ash is like, Ash is always upbeat. We all know this. Okay, the dude is just believes in everything. But so they do that, right? They do that, and like what ends up happening is that Clement basically is okay with it. He's like, "Oh well, I guess he's just still mad at me, so I think we should just leave. I don't think we should keep waiting because I'm basically stopping you guys from moving on. So I think we should just go." And then the moment that they were like he started walking away, Luxio shows up. And it's like this most touching moment. And like throws the Pokeball, he catches Luxio, and it was just cool and awesome. And now they have a new addition to the team. It's just wonderful. It's great. Um, but yeah, it was a nice episode. I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that they gave Clement some development. Um, but yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna leave a link to the episode in the description so you guys can watch them if you didn't watch them today, which I don't know, it's kind of late, so I don't know if you would have not watched it. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys, excuse me, in future videos.